Okay, so this is actually a really good question. Obviously, when you choose to write longhand, you can't go nearly as fast as when you're, say, typing on a computer. So how do you keep up? How do you reconcile the fact that your brain is working so much faster than your pen? How do you deal with this? In a weird way, this is a good thing because as I'm writing a line, my hand is racing to try to keep up with my brain, and I can never keep up. My mind is always one step ahead, two steps ahead, and I'm trying really hard to finish up this line that I'm writing so I can, hurry up and get to the next line. I'm thinking another step ahead. Now, here's the thing is when I type, that isn't always the case. I can type very quickly and then I sit and I think, what am I going to write next? And I type very quickly and I sit and think. The cool thing about writing longhand is there's that constant push forward because I am trying to catch up with my brain, and I find that momentum builds up. When I sit down and I write longhand, there's almost never a lull. I am writing continuously, just constantly, and I'm pausing only to click, my mechanical pencil to get more lead, or I'm pausing just so I can flip the page, and I'll sit there and I'll write for, an hour straight without ever taking a break, which is when I do it on a computer when I'm typing is almost never the case. There's always lulls. And in a weird way, that failure to be able to keep up with my brain keeps up the momentum more, and I feel that it forces me, it makes me power through. It also, because of just the tactile nature of writing, it causes you to write differently. You start writing a sentence and then you think, that's not really the way I wanted to say that. Well, your options then are either to erase a whole sentence or cross off a whole sentence, or just go, it is what it is, finish up the sentence the best you can and move on to the next one. That also is way better for your momentum because you're not trying to be a perfectionist as you're writing. You're not self-editing, so you're not slowing yourself down and trying to fix things as you go. I would argue it's much better as far as actually getting a first draft done to just get the writing out there because you can fix bad writing. What you can't fix is a blank page. So that's my take. I have actually written one full novel entirely longhand, and I wrote a screenplay entirely longhand, and I loved the process. I do it a lot more now, especially for first drafts. Now, when I'm typing it into the computer, it ends up being kind of a self-editing process, and I end up with like a draft 1.5 because I'm kind of fixing things or adding things as I'm typing it into the computer. So yeah, if you've never written longhand before, I'd encourage you to try it. It's not something that I ever thought I would do, but hey, that's the nature of writing. You try different things, you figure out what works for you. Happy writing, everybody.